All right, everyone. Welcome to another After the Salt Settles. THL Season 4, Week 5, SHL Season 1, Week 4. Y'all can press F for Avatar's Implosion, because after last week, we could see that that has died, and the resurrection of the wonderful guys over at Avatar is starting to begin. Let's hope that lasts. I think I think you may have. I think you may.
Oh, Lieber, what did you just say?
Nothing. What are you talking about? I didn't say anything.
I didn't turn your mic on at the point.
What?
But now it's on.
Never mind. It's done now.
Maybe it's better off. Welcome everyone to this week's episode. Theme of the week. We have Thrall over here as our overlay because I was looking at the ban stats. He's been banned 51 times on the dot the last 3 weeks in a row. So he's got to be the poster child of saltiness right now. He just wants to play. Let him play, man. Let's see some shamans out there.
Seriously, like shaman's class in Hearthstone. One note.
Yeah.
So we got Lemur back.
Yo.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty well. Had a big packed show choir week last week, and now I'm back strong to THL and SHL. We're good.
Wasn't that your comedy Olympics or something?
Now, that's comedy sports. That's completely separate. I'll tell you about it.
Completely different. Okay. Salt, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Doing great.
Very good. Well, let's get to it, boys.
Yeah.
Salt, why don't you start us off?
Sure. We'll go into all of the matchups. We had Silent Storms versus Pocahontas in Space this week. Explosive Sheep against Enthalpy. Xynergy Gaming. Yes. Xynergy Gaming against Defias Henchman. And the Kawasaki Ninjas Rule against the Old God Squad. So, the first match, Kawasaki Ninjas Rule against the Old God Squad. Old God Squad won 12.
No, Kawasaki Ninjas Rule 1.
I'm sorry, Kawasaki Ninjas Rule won 12-4.
Yep.
Old God Squad's still trying to pick up a win this season. Still not doing too good, but they matched their season total last week, so maybe they're moving in the right direction. Xynergy Gaming beat the Defias Henchmen. They beat them with a score of 10-6. We had good performances by Samu and Dexter, and Red Marsh almost won. So that was a really close one, you know. Then we have Explosive Sheep against Enthalpy. Explosive Sheep only came away with 2 points this week.
Ouch.
Enthalpy came back in a big way. They needed the big win though, you know. Get back, you know, in the pack with everybody. So they picked up the full 12 this week, only dropping 2 games. Sad to see the vegan zombie lose. But
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's an unusual
our man-
sight. It's an unusual
he did-
sight.
he didn't bring Shaman, and he brought Priest instead.
Mistakes were made.
Yes,
Mistakes were made.
a bit. And the last one was the Silent Storms against Piss. Pocahontas in Space won 12-0.
Ouch.
We had 2 sweeps, and then something happened to Mange. I believe
What happened to Mange?
there was a graphic somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, I think
There's a graphic?
We do have an
Yeah.
explanation. Here it is.
Oh, okay. I understand. That makes more sense to me.
Yes, much more.
Unfortunately, Mange didn't get to stream his class selection last week.
That's correct.
No, but we streamed it this week, so good to go. It's on irrefutable evidence that we submit classes this week, so that's great.
Yep.
So that's the week. We had Purple winning the majority of the matches this week, which has kind of been most of the weeks this season.
That's been the trend.
Yeah. Good week for a bunch of teams, but I mean, everybody's still, right there within one loss of being out.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Still as close as we thought it would be. The only people that are like the outlier is probably Old God Squad.
Yes, the O God Squad.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
the Oh God Squad. Because Pocahontas in Space, after having a 0-point week, can still make playoffs mathematically,
That's
which is
amazing.
kind of ridiculous. But that's how it is.
That is how it goes. So lots of good matches this week.
Yep, for sure.
Most definitely. Anybody have anything on this that surprised them?
What was the matches that stuck out to you guys the most? Well, obviously, we're going to say, like, the 12-0 win from Silent Storms over Pocahontas in Space is just crazy. Like, they got 0 points this week, which is the lowest amount of points you can get from a generally considered strong team. And because of that, I'd say that's probably the standout, like, most shocking thing of this week. Other than that, I think it was pretty cut and dry.
I'm happy.
Synergy taking the win over Defiance Henchman
Yeah.
is interesting to me, I think, a little bit.
Yeah,
That was
they
close.
bringing in Samu is working out for them.
Yep.
Red Marsh, even though he lost, he picked up 2 points. 2-3 is the best way to lose.
Yeah, no doubt.
Synergy's got something going on here. I'm happy to see that, those who do submit their classes are showing up to play their games,
Yeah, man, we're getting all the matches in. I mean, it's really fun, to play.
Yeah.
And I wish we would have had the band. I don't know what happened with the band classes on most of the.
There must be something wrong with the website, maybe. Huh.
There could be something wrong.
Bans and submissions.
Wait a minute. Yeah, if it's bans, it has to include submissions, right?
Probably.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
I just assume that all of the ones that aren't shown as shaman bands for the most part.
Yep, makes sense.
Except the people that didn't bring shaman on
Yeah,
explosive
but
sheep.
even if your opponent doesn't
Bit
bring
deeper.
Shaman, you still ban it, right?
Actually, there was a occurrence this week in regular THL where Brunson was playing against his opponent for this week, and they banned Shaman even though Brunson did not bring Shaman.
How did that end?
So Brunson ended up winning the series because you can't lose if they. Oh, there was a couple other complications with it, but
Jeez.
with the ban on Shaman, that just means that they get to not ban
Use
one
4
of the decks
decks to get
just
3
play
wins.
whichever deck. Yeah, so banning Shaman and just keeping it as your ban class turns out to not work some of the time.
Yeah.
Not bringing shaman in 2016.
We have a question from the audience, by the way.
Oh.
Do it.
How many sad notes would it take to silence the bottom guy?
0. You could just cash those in, and at any time would be happy to make that happen. But
Yeah,
let's.
I'm sure if you mod Nade in your chat, then
Yeah.
he'll do it now.
We'll make it happen. Let's
There
move.
you go.
Let's move to some SHL league standings. We have some new data for the crew. Maybe Salt, you want to take us through this too?
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot to Aridin, as always. We now have team record, player record, and win percentage. So let's take a look here on this week's. In first place, we have Silent Storms with 45 points, followed by Zenergy Gaming, Enthalpy, Kawasaki Ninjas Rule, Explosive Sheep, Piss, the Defias Henchman in 7th, and Old God Squad bringing up the rear. Everybody's got 50. I mean, other than the one team, everybody's sitting, just over or right at 50% win percentage as a team.
Yeah. That just shows how close this SHL race is to get into the playoffs. So currently in SHL, who would be qualifying for playoffs?
Silent Storms, Energy Gaming, Enthalpy, and Piss.
And Pocahontas in Space, even after the 0 point week. It looks like Purple's on top right now.
Yeah.
Orange is kind of struggling. Enthalpy is the only one that's...
It's not to say Gold isn't a power bottom, though.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, it's there's the spaces, geez, we're in first right now at 45, but we're only, 6 points from being out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I mean, every player's match is so important, and one bad week at this point, probably if you're in purple, it probably just means that you're out. Which is unfortunate.
6
Really
points.
unfortunate.
That's what 1.5 wins can pull you in 1 week.
Yep. But with 3-man teams, it's a little harder to make up ground.
Yeah, for sure.
So and which makes it impossible to pull away from everybody, as you can see. You got to pretty much fall flat for 4 or 5 weeks. To have a lot of separation.
Which I don't think we're going to see any of these teams fall flat for that amount of time. They're all still chugging away at it.
We'll see. Purple gets to, beat each other up. Well, they get to beat each other up, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so I mean, so I'm not sure how that's going to look, and then hopefully the gold playing against gold, we can get some separation there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the comparison to last week here? Was there a lot of movement?
Piss moved down a lot.
No.
Aridin in chat said that had I lost my game 5 in week 2, we would be in last place in purple instead of first.
That's how close it is. Oh gosh.
Yep. So just
I think the only thing that's holding Piss down at the towards the bottom of this list is the fact that Mange has not submitted classes or submitted bans. Get your stuff together, Mange. Come on. No, I think that, like I said, it's still incredibly close, which is amazing. Piss and Defias Henchmen are sitting at the same amount of points, which is definitely interesting, and will be like a race to playoffs. So whatever their weeks are, they have to get them, get all the points they possibly can to outrace the other one.
And Enthalpy's been they've been hit or miss, every week. So
and this week happened to be a hit.
Right. So hopefully they keep that going, but trending throughout the season, they've had a bad week, had a good week, had a bad week, Yeah. So, it ought to be very interesting since we, almost at the end here.
Yeah, for sure.
Fun fact, if you take a look at SHL Week 5, Mange is waiting for his opponent to submit classes. They've been locked in.
Hey!
Success. So all you gotta do is stream your shit and it's gonna work. So now you know, Mange.
Every
Yep.
time.
Every time.
And I like, you know, how much that, you know, it just shows from week 4 how much different everything looks, you know, from week to week with the standings.
Absolutely.
You know.
Last thoughts on this?
I think so too. I think we pretty much covered it.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the SHL power rankings for the teams.
Oh, I'm down for this. Thank you very much, Jerry, for providing us with the SHL team power rankings. From the 8th place up, we got the Old God Squad. As we said before, they are in the same position. They have 0 weeks and have 12 points. So they're 0-4 currently and holding down the 8th place spot. Defias Henchmen moved down 2 spots this week. They are 1-3 and have 34 points, which is tying with Pocahontas in Space, although Pocahontas in Space is 2-2. Yeah. And they are, as I said before, -2. They didn't have the best week this week, losing out in the end. Moving up to 6, we have the biggest decrease on this list, which is Pocahontas in Space. They moved down 4 spots, which is extremely substantial. They got the first... Okay, this is a pretty cool statistic. They got the first 0-point week ever in THL since Season Beta. So since Season Beta, nobody's gotten 0 points. This week, Pocahontas and Space are just like, okay, we got to get a record somehow. So they went for 0 points.
What's craziest about that is it's easier to get a 0-point week with 3 players, but somebody in THL got a 0-point week with 5 players.
In Season Beta. I'm fairly certain that all of them DQ'd.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Just the entire team DQ'd.
I remember that. Yeah, that's when I first came to THL, was in beta, and I remember we cut them for the rest of the season. It was just a rotating bye week free win for the opposing teams, if I remember correctly.
So they were like, screw you guys, we're going home.
Yeah, pretty much. And home was in a country very, very far away, so communication was difficult.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving on from that and Mange's DQ loss against Aradan, we're going up to number 5, which is Kawasaki Ninjas Rule. They went up 2 spots. They benefited a lot from Pocahontas in Space dropping. They are currently 2-2 as well and have 40 points. And they had a really good week. They won over Old God Squad 12-4. Delcaver and Clobbered got Force of Will and Owen Deffen 3-1, and then Merc and Pie won a series 3-2 against Armin Wolf. So they had a great week. Number 4 is Explosive Sheep, and they also moved down pretty substantially. They were on top before, moving down to 4th place with a 3-1 record and also 40 points. So our 6 and 7 are tied, and our 4 and 5 are tied in point value. Like 4 and 5 have 40, and 6 and 7 have 34. So it's incredibly close. Explosive Sheep, unfortunately, had a pretty tough week this week. They got their first loss of the season, which was to Enthalpy 2-12, which is really in favor of Enthalpy. They were on this week. Vegan Zombie and Bitbeaker both lost 1-3 to Anarchist and Gymphalos. And Dyrus Bear lost 0-3 to D-Lineman, which is really unfortunate. Dyrus Bear has been extremely strong in SHL this season. So to see him lose 3-0 to D-Lineman is pretty heartbreaking, especially since Explosive Sheep is going into the Silent Storms this next week. At number 3, we have Enthalpy. After their huge week, they move up 3 spots. They are 2-2 in the league with 42 points.
Now, why do you think Jerry ranked Enthalpy higher than Explosive Sheep? Because you would argue a 3-1 record is stronger than 2-2, and the 2 points isn't that difference.
I think this is strictly by point value. If you look at how this is ranked, because 45 is at the top, 44, 42, 40, 40, 34, 34, 12.
I think that's coincidental because with the power rankings, there's the level of subjectivity to it. Maybe he believes Enthalpy has a stronger roster than Explosive Sheep. I could be wrong. I know that, because because I would argue that 3-1 is a stronger performance, but Jerry might
Yeah,
argue that
agree.
Enthalpy is a stronger team.
That'll be interesting to get his opinion on it. We definitely can. For now, how it is though, they had a great week this week. They handed Explosive Sheep a huge loss, giving them. I think that might be why that they rated them so low, or they rated them over.
That'll do it.
Explosive Sheep is because they beat them this week. That's probably the thought process there. Sorry, tangent. But Enthalpy is in third place after getting that great week. We move on to Synergy Gaming, who has had a very good season as opposed to THL. They got their third win of the season with a 10-6 victory over Defias Henchman. Samu, who got subbed in, is doing work, got that 3-0 win over Joe Harstone. And then Dexter also got a 3-2 win over AO. Red Marsh lost, but he lost 2-3 to Hockey Boys. And then they're facing Kawasaki Ninjas Rule this next week. And then in number 1, we have Silent Storm. They're 3-1, got the 45 points, lead the league in points. They got a rebound from their first loss of the season with a 12-0 win over Pocahontas in Space, which says for itself it's pretty dang impressive, especially because of the roster that Pocahontas in Space has. It's almost like a DQ happened or something.
Did it though? Did it?
Nope.
I question it. Okay.
Hey,
moving forward.
There was a couple of excellent matches in that series as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The matches in that series definitely had to be good, just judging by the value, like the straight value of the players that are on both rosters. The matches that did happen, I'm sure, were pretty hard fought, and it's especially hard to get a sweep. It's a little bit easier in Last Hero Standing to get sweeps, but it's still fairly difficult against players the caliber of like G-Nets, of like Salt, just in general. It's pretty hard to get a sweep.
I get swept in THL all the time.
All right, boys. Well, Lemur, thank you very much for going through all of that info. Let's take a look at some top dogs for SHL. Again, put together by Aridin, who has been fantastic at coming through with graphics for us in time for the show. That's probably going to be correct data. Let's
hope.
Yeah, we've been doing all right so far. Let's take a look at the 3 seeds here. Bitbeaker has been down here for a bit. See what I did? Okay. Eamon Wolf coming through with 8 points, tied in 6th place with Rogue JT. Rogue got swept by Jerry Damage. This is Jerry's first week coming out strong against a good player. I know you guys talked about that.
Jerry finally, he finally got that win.
Yeah,
he did, and he got it in a big way, not just like a little okay, I'm gonna win 3-2.
Sure, yeah, you guys pointed that out, so I don't need to delve further into that. Jerry's up next, 9 points, 47 win percent, followed by Jim Philos. I know his name from talking about him on the show for a while now, but I still don't know much about the guy. It'd be interesting to hear more of the SHL guys speak up a little bit. I don't hear much from them in the Facebook or in chat if they're coming to check out the show. Yeah. It'd be cool to get to know the SHL guys a little bit. AO's another name, we've been talking about him. Murloc Pie, would love to get to know these guys a little bit better. But yeah, Jim Philos, 3-1 Bitbeaker. He's sitting at 10 points, 4th place. And then we go into our top 3, where we finally hit 50% win rate or above. We got AO at 12 points for the Henchman, with a 2-2 record. Lost to Dexter, but if you lose 2-3, you lose in style. You still bring in those points. As long as you don't get reverse swept like me on stream, but we don't have to talk about that. Yep. 2nd place, Dexter Hearthstone. Doesn't surprise me. Good player. For the 3 seed PR range. 3-2ing AO, 3-1 on the season, 65% win rate. He leads the 3 seeds in percentage of games won. But we do have the one and only Murloc Pie for Kawasaki Ninjas Rule. one of the best names with one of the best names. So obviously you're going to sit at first place. 3-2ing Eamon Wolf, 4-0 on the season. I believe the only 4-0 in the league. Yeah.
He is the only 4-0 G-Nets lost this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So props to you, Murloc. 16 points. Doing well.
Yeah, very good.
Absolutely. All right, 2 seeds.
All right, I will take the 2 seeds. Bringing up the rear, we have Odefin, who is 0-4 this season. Hey, we got it played though, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so that's a step in the right direction, even though he didn't quite, pick up the win. We still got it played. So we have Mange with 4 points on the season. He is 1-2, 0-3 DQ to Aridin last week. We got Red Marsh with 6 points, followed by Clobbered of the Kawasaki Ninjas Rule. He beat Odefin 3-1, so that was, like I said, that was a good match. Then we have Mr. Joe Harstone, who lost 0-3 to Samu. He is at 41% win rate. Aridin moves up to 3rd.
Frodo.
He got a +3 off that DQ.
He did get +3. 62% win rate on the season. He's 3-1 on the season, so very good. In second, we have the Anarchist for Enthalpy. He beat Vegan Zombie 3-1. 53% win rate. He's 2-1 on the season, so not bad. He did get subbed out the 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
So not bad on him. And in first, we have Vegan Zombie, who is also 3-1. 53% win rate. He did lose, but 10 games won to 9 games, so they didn't.
Yep.
They didn't swap. So
he maintained his first spot.
He did maintain his first spot by winning his 1 game.
Yep. All right, I don't know. The one thing that sticks out to me here is the Aridin jumping 3 spots for a DQ, but he's 3-1 on the season still. He's definitely up there. It's very interesting to me if you look at the data that the majority. Wait, am I looking at this right?
So the DQ column, the +3 says that the points column is if you add the DQ wins, that's what their final score would be. So Aridin has scored 14 points on the season, but when we rank through this, he's 11 on games played. Because we don't. It's hard to really rank somebody on games that were never played, because if Aridin had played Mange, I don't think you'd see a 3-0 score. It would be 2-3 either way. It could be 1-3.
So if that's the case, I'm pretty sure Aridin was actually in second last week, so he dropped a spot. That's why I was confused. Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Never mind. He dropped a spot down to 3rd place, but he's still doing a lot of work. Has been the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1 seed time. Bringing up the rear in the 1 seed from the Oh God squad, we've got Force of Will. He lost 1-3 to Del Caver this week with a 25% win rate on the season. He's 2-6. We have Samu from Synergy Gaming, who also apparently got a DQ win at some point, so he has garnered 8 points for his team this season. Got a 3-0 over Joe Harstone, has a 100% win rate, because came in last week, which is obviously pretty impressive. Hockey Boys coming in from the 6th spot. He's 9-10 on the season, 47% win rate. Beat Red Marsh this week 3-2. We have Del Caver in the 5th position. Beating Force of Will 3-1 this week, 56% win rate, 9-7 on the season. Very, very strong. Dyrus Fair lost 0-3 to D Lyman this week, which is, I think, the biggest surprise to me, was that Dyrus Fair got swept this week, because he was doing very, very strong in the season. And if he hadn't gotten swept, it definitely looked a little bit different, I think. But he is currently sitting in the 4th position at 9-5. G-Nets also got swept this week by our one and truly Salt.
Hey.
Has a 69% win rate on the season, and he is 9-4 currently. And then we have Salt in the number 2 position, 10-5, 67% win rate, 3-0 G-Nuts. And then D Lineman up at the top, getting that top PR 500 spot, 11-6 with a 65% win rate.
Look at the win rates for the 1 seeds. There are only 2 people below 50, and 47% is not that far below 50. That's crazy, in my opinion.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Well, D Lyman beat me 3-1 when we played.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely deserves to be up there. He plays really good, so I enjoyed playing him, even though he rolled me pretty good.
He's the only 500 PR player in SHL.
Yeah, he is.
I might get there one day.
Yeah, you're not too
Maybe.
far.
Might get there.
I might get there.
You're not too far.
So is there anything that surprises you in the 1 seeds?
The D Lyman and Dyrus Bear, D Lyman, I would expect D Lyman to win that match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised that Dyrus Bear didn't pick up a game.
Yeah. Okay.
But as same thing with my match. Sometimes you cue a good matchup in game 1 and you draw perfect, and then the next game you draw perfect again, and then by the time that game 3 rolls around, they're pretty agitated, and it's just snowballs,
Yeah.
So could have been what happened.
For sure.
But
Cool.
that would be my surprise. Everything else looks okay.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on. It's nice to see there's a better mix match of the gold and purple up towards the top than it has been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, good job, SHL. Kicking some ass. Let's move on to THL.
Yeah. THL.
We got our league standings. There's been a lot of movement over here. Saul, why don't you talk to us about this?
Yeah, sure. As compared to last week, we had a good bit of movement. In last place, we have Zenergy, 33 points.
Yep.
The Yog Champs with 52 points. Team Golden Wisp, they have 61. The Damaged Ones with 65. Danger Zone has 57. They had a couple of DQs last week, so that didn't help at all. They fell out of playoff contention because of it, only scoring 7 points last week. We got Netherstorm with 62.
They're moving up.
Yeah, but is it enough? We can talk about that in a minute. Entropy also has 62. The Defias Brotherhood has 71. And then your current, if the season ended today, playoff teams. In 8th, we have Temporal Legends with 67 points. Avatar moving all the way up to 7th. Noob Central, after their rough start, they would also make the playoffs today with 73. Aeon has 74. NWA and Team 1600 Gods have 79. The Hairy Generals is in 2nd with 85. And then Team Rank 5, 106 out of 115 possible points for the season. They have only given up, they've only lost 9 points over 5 weeks.
It's insanity.
Yeah, from winning 23-0 every week.
I can't fathom that.
Well, not to nothing, but scoring 23 points.
And now we have to play them.
Yeah, good luck, dupes.
Take it easy on us. We
already did our time. We played Team Rank 5 already.
You did your time.
Oh, Slimch says that they're going to bench their starter soon.
Can we start that this week, please?
They have the their 5th man on to bring it up.
Yeah, obviously, Team Rank 5, they're the ones to beat this season and have been the ones to beat since the beginning of the season. It's just incredibly impressive to me that they have consistently done this kind of thing to their opponents. being at 106 points is ridiculous. Like the next
Insane.
closest is 85 in the Harry Generals.
And the Harry Generals are super strong.
Yeah, it's like they're 21 points above the Harry Generals, which is an entire week of play.
Yep.
It's more than a week of play. You'd have to do 2 weeks to offset it because you can only get 20 points in a week.
Yep.
If this is the season to win a championship, this is the one team ranked 5. So all eyes are on you guys. What's new here is that Temporal Legends, Team Avatar, Noob Central have entered the top 8 for the first time all season, I think. I don't think we've seen any of these teams up here.
Avatar
No,
been up there. I know that much.
But like we said,
Temporal Legends has been quietly moving up every week.
Yeah. Like we mentioned last week, this is the week to start seeing those shifts as we're all facing our own division. There's going to be a lot of movement. It's only because of how the results turned out against the damaged ones that we were able to make this swap. If we faced any other team, you might not see us here.
Yep.
So, yeah, the last 3 spots in orange are very tight. Red is pretty tight as well. Green's got some separation there.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Danger Zone got 2 DQs this week, which is extremely unfortunate. They were in the playoff contention, and then Avatar just kind of swept in and took it over Xenergy.
Yeah, they're in danger of an implosion over here.
Yeah. Sounds familiar, right?
They're in the danger zone.
I guess so.
Yes.
Which
This week's matchups, we could see some playoffs solidified a little bit, probably, depending on how the series goes. I mean, I know Red, there's NWA plays Temporal Legends this week, and then Entropy plays Yogg-Champ. So, a good series by 2 of those teams can put them, if Temporal Legends beats NWA by a fair amount, they can crawl back in and make that close. And then if Entropy beats the Yogg-Champs by a good bit, the Yogg-Champs probably going to have a hard time,
Oh, no mercy, says Slim.
Bold prediction from Eridan. I'm going to say this right now. Next week, TDO will beat TR5 13-12.
Ooh. Okay. Don't bet on that.
You know what?
Don't hold your breath.
I believe in the predictions on Tavern Talk. They may pick that one. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, that week.
We'll see.
We will see for sure. As of right now, Team Rank 5 is not going anywhere.
No, I think they'll be. They have they? All right. They pretty much they've locked their playoff spot probably. I mean,
they can't get out of playoffs.
If they scored 0 points 2 weeks in a row,
right?
And Noobs and Defias scored 23 points 2 weeks in a row. Either of those teams could surpass them.
Noobs could surpass them, but that wouldn't put Team Rank 5 out of the playoffs.
Oh, so like I said, Team Rank 5 would have to score 0 points over 2 weeks. Noobs and Defias would have to score 46 points 2 weeks in a row. After the 2 weeks pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So damaged one's 23-0 hype.
Yep.
Right.
Over Team Rank 5 last week of the season. There you go.
Let's see it.
That's what the win. Yes, that's what you have to do to keep them out of the playoffs.
So if Team Rank 5 would arrest their starters, who comes in to play that match?
I mean, they just bring Cassidy back. They bring Mange back. They make it like a reunion, right?
All those has-beens.
Nah, they probably still win. They probably still do fairly well, right?
Yeah.
I mean that team. That was the team to beat.
Team's not bad.
Yeah, team not quite bad. Yeah.
Team seems good. Yep. So, any other interesting things that we'd like to highlight on this week's standings?
think we're good.
No, well, I think Zenergy's gonna lock it down.
You think they're locked where they are?
I think it's locked down for the season.
Oh man.
That's my bold prediction.
Yeah, I mean the amount of DQs that they've had.
But
that might no. Is that not even a record, considering like season beta?
You know what?
I honestly don't know. I'll have to check that. Find that out.
It could be. It's not like they have bad players, and it's not like they have a couple players with some good records so far this season. We'll see that in a minute, in a couple segments. But let's start moving that way.
Sure.
We'll take a look at the PPR. Lemur, take it away.
I got you. All right, we're going into the PPR. In the 10th position, we have a new player, not new to the league, but new to this list. It's MV Parker at 13-7. MV Parker, or Jerry didn't have time for write-ups, so I am going to either create my own write-ups or you guys can create your own write-ups and let me know. But MV Parker is 13-7, obviously a fantastic player. Has been a fantastic player for a very long time. Not really a surprise to see him on this list. We have Poker maintaining his spot at number 9 with a 13-5 record. He's been on this list. How long has he been on this list? Quite a while.
Yeah.
Has he left this list? I don't think he's left this list yet. He's been a consistent player on this list, and he maintains a spot this week. New, though, to this list, we have Phoebus at 14-8 in the 8th position. He's been having a pretty stellar season and just solidified, pushing his way onto this list this last week.
He's repping the Paladins of the past, right?
Yeah.
Nicely done.
He is a Paladin of the past.
Maybe we'll get
He is a warrior of the future.
Maybe we'll get some Phoebus hype in chat.
Let's go, Phoebus.
We need some Phoebus hype.
All right. Moving up 4 spots, all the way from number 11, is Adidas 5482 with a 14-7 record. But the real news on this list, Jesus C losing out to A-Roy, which moves him down 4 spots from the number 2 position to the number 6 position.
A-Roy.
And 7. A-Roy just took him out.
Yeah, that one was streamed, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think I watched some of it. It was not good.
Yeah, A-Roy got him 3-1.
Yeah.
Loaded Lux moves up 2 spots from the number 7 to the number 5. He's 14-6 on the season. Still a phenomenal record. Loaded Lux is also a member of Team Rank 5, as is Jesus C and MV Parker and Slimsh. So the only person not on this list for Team Rank 5 is Rogue, but Rogue is one of the honorable mentions, so he's right there. Right there. In the 4th position, we have A-Roy, moved up a spot after taking out Jesus C 3-1 this week. Honestly, I think he should be higher. This is based off pure statistics, as Jerry generally does, but A-Roy really solidified himself as a strong power 4 seed with his win over Jesus C 3-1. Dag Randolph got our old favorite.
Fan fave!
Fan fave. 15-4, which is the same record that Slimsh and Bork have, which is 15-4. Why did Slimsh move down a spot?
Yeah, so Jerry's formula that he runs these rankings through, he'll calculate how well their opponents are doing. So, for example, I didn't see the formula, but it must have equated to the people who Slimsh has played have had a lower win percentage than the people who Bork has played. Not to say that the people who Slimsh played are worse players than the people who Bork played, because we're talking about different seeds here and different caliber of play. But the people who Bork was beating up were performing a little bit better than the people who Slimsh were beating up. Not to say that second place is a horrible place to be. Slimsh, incredible record, incredible performance. I think Jerry is most impressed with what Bork is doing against the toughness of the schedule that he's had this season. If that makes sense.
A lot of sense. Bork has absolutely been killing it. Like, he's 15-4 right now, coming in really, really hot on this season. And all 3 of those guys at the top deserve to be at the top. They're just all having stellar seasons, which is pretty much expected out of Slimsh. But Bork and Dag have really put out and gotten, like, a lot of recognition for their work, and rightfully so. We do have some honorable mentions, including Ridiculous Hat, Ziggy
Yeah,
Sarah,
man.
my opponent this week, WW Los, who's usually on this list, dipped off this week, Rogue JT, 5th member of Team Rank 5, and Josh Sampson. So all of them are still having a phenomenal
Yeah,
season.
Josh. Yeah, so a couple 1600 gods, right
Yeah,
at the tip, just the tip. Impressing us with what they've been doing. Really great records for both of them against good players as well. Props to Ridiculous Hat for helping out with the data. There's been a ton of accuracy, and that's because I'm not doing it anymore. So.
Yay.
So props to you, man. Thanks for all the help. Any other thoughts on this stuff, guys, before we come down the home stretch?
I think we talked about it earlier. I would have left Slimch at the 1, but that's not Jerry's formula, so I understand. So I really can't argue with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was a, pure power rankings, I would put Slimch at the top. But I mean, other than that, I think the list is fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as always, it's a conversation of subjective and objective information, and whatever the route is, it's going to look a little bit different.
Right.
And that's why we put together some different lists, because as we look through the top dogs, I'm sure we're going to see Slimch as number 1.
I'm sure he'll be there.
And that's no spoilerino, because anybody could have guessed that. But let's make our way through there, if we don't mind. Let's take a look at some 5 seeds for THL.
All right. In at number 5 this week is my very own Sean High, Mr. Drudded, getting in the 5 with a 3-0 win over the Anarchist. In 4, we have Rogue JT. In 3rd, we have Mr. Phoebus. Ziggy Sarah is 2nd. And then Dag Randolph is the king of the 5 seeds with the 79% win rate.
Ridiculous.
And a 3-1 win over Sunshine. Bunch of good 5 seeds, man. I might not want to play a couple of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see. Interesting places out of the rest of them. Gemini's having a very bad season still.
So surprising, man. 4-12 is crazy. One of the most impressive things is Crackshot 3-0ing Crackshot.
Yes, Crackshot.
That's really impressive.
We fixed this, so I'm surprised to see this here again. But it wouldn't be after the salt settles without something like this.
No. He brought 4 Paladin decks and played himself.
Okay, so that makes sense.
4 priest
decks and played himself.
Either or, same result.
Right. Dexter 45%, so not bad. And let's see, very close. We have Zabger and Grim, and Ham, right outside of the of the top 5. But if you look, the win percentages of the top 5, the 5 seeds is pretty good. 60% plus for all of them. So we've got a lot of separation this season for and a lot of these guys are newer.
Yeah, they are.
So it just shows how far the 5 seed has come, and how important it is to have a really good 5 seed that you can count on, every week. Yeah.
It's so clutch.
It is.
Having good lower seeds is definitely extremely important in a lot of teams. Like, I know Avatar, my goal with Avatar was to build from the top up. Didn't exactly pan out because I suck this season. Mm-hmm. But building from the bottom up is definitely a valid strategy in THL because so many teams try to build from the top down. And if they do that and they have stronger players in the high seeds as opposed to stronger players in lower seeds, a lot of the time, if you build from the bottom up, it can benefit you and your team quite a lot. and just sneak out those wins like G-Nets does. Because, you know, G-Nets isn't a good Hearthstone player or anything. He just sneaks them out.
There you go.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the 4 seeds.
Let's do that.
We got the top 5 4 seeds in the league currently being at number 5, Pink Samus, 11-9 with that 55% win rate. Got that 3-2 over Arcane this week. Swanky Tiger at the 4th position with 11-8, 58% win rate, and got the 3-0 over Raging Rhino, knocking him out of the top 5 for the first time in a while. We have Jesus C still rocking that spot with a 1-3 loss to A-Roy, but still at a 72% win rate, which is obviously ridiculous. Bork got a DQ win against Rubik's Cube this week. He's in 2nd currently at 12-3. And then we got our boy A-Roy up in the number 1 spot after getting that 3-1 victory over Jesus C. I definitely think A-Roy deserves to be at the top here. He's just had a phenomenal season, and him beating Jesus and knocking Jesus out of the top spot definitely shows that A-Roy's here to play. And he's not just going to drop down. He's going to stay up there.
Mm-hmm.
Other noticeable things in the 4 seed position. As I said, Raging Rhino went down. We did see 2 DQs happen this week.
3 here.
3 DQs happened this week. With Jing Buddha getting DQ'd, which I cannot recall happening ever. Rockbass getting the win there, and then God's Gift getting DQ'd, as well as Rubik's Cube getting DQ'd. So we gotta tidy up the DQs. Other than that, it's looking solid for the 4 seeds.
I think that's a first for Jing.
I do too.
I think it's a first for Rubik's Cube. I'm not 100% sure.
God's Gift. Angelo, not like this.
I know, man.
Come on, man.
He's better than this, so I don't know what's going on over here, and it just so happens that he's on Xynergy, so maybe it's just the dark cloud that's hovering over that team this season.
Yep.
It could be at 33 points. You know, he doesn't have a whole lot of and 1-9 on the season. God, he's lost all motivation.
Mm. We gotta get a talk with God's Gift, Caranthi, if you haven't already. If you care about the rest of the season, maybe not. Maybe we don't need to talk.
I get Angelo on Skype, man. I love Angelo.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah, man.
Skyping with Angelo is a riot. Just be prepared for the motley crew that also lives with
grandma.
him in his apartment and That's all I'm gonna say.
Angelo's grandma for THL MVP, man. She's coming.
All right, I guess we opened this door. We may as well walk through it. So Skyping with God's Gift is quite the pleasure, because he'll be sitting there talking to you, and his grandma will be sitting on the bed, and we'll lean over into view and just stare at you, and he doesn't notice it. But we notice it, and 10 minutes will go by, and she's just staring at you talk about Hearthstone and probably has no idea what's going on. And it's quite the experience.
It is.
So if you haven't Skyped with him yet, you need to. Anyway.
Moving on. 3 seeds.
Moving on.
Let's do it. I'll talk about some 3 seeds.
Talk about some 3 seeds.
Direst Bear. Took a loss to Thor Smash, but lost in fashion with a 2-3. He's been kicking ass. You know, we've been saying that all day, because that's all season, because that's what he's been doing. Good player. He's with the damaged ones. Because we played them last week. So he's doing good things for them, keeping them alive. Because
a 2-3 to Thor Smash is very, we all know Thor Smash makes Legend pretty quick, so I mean that's a very good score.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and Thor Smash is right there below him by 1 point. I'm happy to see him climb up, because he was very low on this season for the first few weeks. I mean, on this list for the first few weeks, but he's coming out, where I was hoping to expect him to see. So he's doing great for us.
He's definitely doing incredibly solid.
D Lineman had a week to forget. With a sweep from Cran. You would know more about that match than I would. What happened there?
Three good draws and three okay draws, man. Hearthstone,
I can believe that.
because I mean, you don't expect somebody like D Lyman to get swept. I played him in Last Hero Standing, and it was he doesn't make many mistakes. He's a very good player. So I mean, the 3-0 is not his fault. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Hearthstone happened that game, probably.
What's very interesting is that MV Parker's Kryptonite was comp for the longest time. You just couldn't beat him. And whenever he played, you could not beat him. And he finally got the 3-0 over him, and it felt really good.
Yeah.
So that's something to note there.
So, Alec is having a great season, which I'm really happy to see because he's a great player. And he belongs up here. Mm-hmm. So, 57% win rate, 3-2 on the season, 3-1 to Jedi Ninja. Poor Jedi, man.
Jedi's just getting...
Poor Jedi.
Yeah.
But yeah, props to you, Alec. Second place Cran, kicking ass. 63%. And we just mentioned what a feat that is to 3-0 D Lyman. But MV Parker, number 1 3 seed on the number 1 team, sweeping great players. Not surprised. Can't wait to face him this week. Lemur, I think I stole this from you. I asked him when he would like to schedule my loss. Maybe I didn't. Yep. I don't know. But if I didn't say it to him, that's the honesty of what's going on anyway. We scheduled our loss for Thursday evening, so you guys can look forward to that. 18 points. That's insane. Good for you, man. Some other notable names or situations going on here. Thor Smash Dunamis, Dark. Oh God, words. Coming in really close to making the list, but those are, people who we know are very, very strong players. Comp as well.
Oh yeah.
Comp as well. Super explosive sheet too. Brunson is holding it down.
Brunson got him.
Yeah.
Let's go. 3-0ing Trinidor this week.
After 4 weeks, he has more points than some people, a handful of people after 5 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Good for him. Trinidor. Who is that? Do we know anything about Trinidor?
Not.
I know he plays SHL and THL. That's about it.
Okay. That's what we know.
Yep, that's what I know.
Anything else that you guys think is notable about this list?
Not for 3 seeds, I don't think.
No, everything looks good. In the top 5, I don't have any other surprises that I can see.
Cool. Well, Salt, why don't you talk to us about 2 seeds?
All right. Let's see. Tied for 5th. We have myself and Smoked Salmon. 4th we have Houdini, who beat Nade 3-2.
You didn't see it happen.
Crovan, he's in 3rd. Adidas is 2nd. Yep. And of course, Loaded Lux in 1st place of Team Rank 5 is in 1st place with the 74% win rate. Ridiculous. He beat Ham Bowen 3-2. So that one was really close.
Yeah. Also in Team Rank 5's court, they just won their Cheerleague Cots game. So congrats to Team Bronze 5.
Hey.
Just thought I'd throw that in there since we're talking about, how they're at the top of every seed.
Man, they're good at everything. Jeez.
Right? Gosh.
Oh well. Just out of the top 5, we have in 7th we have Pumbaa's BFF, who beat Drewman 3-1.
Go Pumbaa's.
And Gallon, who is that's probably the most surprising to me, is that he's 2-3 and he lost to Crovan 1-3. Gallon's really good.
Oh yeah, he's a great player.
Sure.
It's an interesting Paladin list he brought. Or am I thinking of WWE Lows?
I think that was Gallon. I think.
Who played on Salty Saturday? No, it was WWE Los, right?
It was
My mistake.
WWE Los. Yeah,
My mistake.
It was WWE Los.
Ignore me, as you should always.
Typical Nade.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
everything else looks pretty good to me. Mark Shire being at 13th is very surprising. He did pick up the DQ over Hupnar.
Yeah, with those extra points, he'd be moving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 5 spots.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's really good to note that in the 2 seed position, there's only a couple people over 50%.
Yep.
And the people who are over 50% are Loaded, Lux, Adidas, and Grovan are the 3 that are way over 50%, where everyone else is around the 50%, but we see 45%, we see 38%, still being pretty high up on the list. So I think this is a little more close battles than we've seen, where a lot of people were 50%, or a lot of people in the 2 or the 3 seed and the 4 seed were above 50%. Yeah. We saw Aroy at 79, Bork at 80, Jesus at 72, and then Swanky Tiger and Pink Samus were both 58, 55. And that's the 4 seed. There's just a lot of people in those seeds that are above 50%, where it is here, it's only 3 or so people.
I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but every match that I play every week is very hard.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a lot of good players, and we're just beating up on each other. Lots of 3-2s. As you can see for the week.
Yeah. All right, moving on to 1 seeds. We got Bites in the 5th position, 12 and 8 this season, 60%. He lost to Ray C 1-3 this week, giving Ray C a much needed win, I think, for Noob Central.
We needed that.
Yeah, Ridiculous Hat in the 4th position, 13 and 7 with a 65% win rate. He beat Vendi 3-2 this week. In the 3 position, which is interesting to me, because WWLOS lost his match to Poker, which bumped him out of the player power rankings, but he's still in 3rd place with a 64% win rate for the 1 seeds. Poker, the guy who just beat him, is 14 and 7, 67% win rate, and he is the spot above him. And then we have our powerhouse Slimsh up on top, 15 and 4, 79% win rate. I don't think we're really surprised to see Slimsh there. And that alone tells us that in the 1 seed, Slimsh is on top. In the 2 seed, Loaded Lux is on top. In the 3 seed, MV Parker is on top. Jesus is 3rd in the 4 seed, and then Rogue is 4th in the 5 seed. So they're all top 5, and 3 of them are the best player so far in that seed this season. So that just tells you how phenomenally Team Rank 5 is doing this season. And we're saying it way too much, but it really can't be overstated, the amount of work that they're putting in.
Yeah, so Nate, y'all play Team Rank 5 this week? That was correct?
Yeah, we're excited. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Am I going to be able to view a Ray C Slimsh match this week?
You know what? I would love to arrange that.
I mean, if that's not the best match possibly of the season, I don't know what is. I mean, Ray's had a tough THL season, but I mean, as far as player quality goes, I don't think you get any better.
Yeah.
So him versus Slimsh, man, is something that I would really love to see.
Yeah. If that email didn't go out already, I would be surprised. I'll talk to Ray.
I'm sure it did.
Slimsh can tell us.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I would be so hyped for that match. That would be a good one.
We see G-Nets trying to slip back in there in the 6th position. He misses top 5. Baby rage.
So
he's getting closer, man. He picked up the win on Zab.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got that 3-2 win. I think the 1 seeds are also obviously great competition. Slimch is just demolishing. He's doing fantastic. Like 79% win rate is crazy. You need an 80% win rate in the new Tavern Brawl to get 12-0.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's nearly there.
He's almost there.
He's almost there. Like,
wow.
he's getting those 3 golden legendaries.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
If Slimch can 79% against clowns like Boom Boom Hall, then
There you go.
he can. I love you, Boom. He can pull in those 3 goldens for sure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Zab gets knocked out of the top 5 for the first time this season, I believe.
Mhm.
Hector Hal is crawling up. Ray's crawling up. The bottom. The real Doctor Who, I remember he was top 5 all last season. Although he did DQ and throw a week away this season.
Yep.
Which is very, very hurting.
No.
For sure.
One DQ can change everything.
Cheesy 10 surprises me.
Yeah.
I'd think he would be top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
We're seeing both MVP candidates. Cheesy was the MVP, and then Gemini are having pretty rough seasons this season.
Yeah. That's what happens. I mean, you yourself experienced that from flip-flopping from high to low as seasons go by.
Every season. It's a flip-flop every season. I can't handle it.
Knackle's been pretty steady with performing, if not on the top, then next to it.
Yeah.
You know, first or second tier level play within his seeds, so that's something to be proud of.
I misplayed just enough to stay where I'm at.
I'm with you, brother, man.
Right, yeah.
I love me some misplays, but yeah. Anything else interesting here?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah, that looks. I guess the most surprising to me of the week was Cheesy losing to Top Hat Demon, or Cheesy beating Top Hat Demon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 3-0. So I mean,
3-0.
Top Hat's pretty good. You know, not a bad player. So that one's surprising. Other than that, everything looks pretty good. Boom Boom Hall put up a really good fight against Slimch, gave him probably his toughest match of the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Slimch is saying.
Yeah, he's very improved. I played him last season.
He swept you.
In the two. Yeah, he did. You know, which led to him moving up to the, playing really good as a 1 seed. So that's good, man. I'm glad to see him doing well. You know, almost pulled it out against MVP candidate Slimch. So, yeah.
Season beta MVP.
Yes.
MVP.
Was it beta? Wait, was it beta? I don't want to be wrong.
Beta or season 1?
I don't remember.
It was one of those two.
Yeah. We may have our first 2 time though, which would be incredible.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
It'd be well earned though.
Yep.
So, top 5, every seed. These are your THL top dogs. Congrats to all you guys.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next, Nade?
We probably have the strongest Q&A session we've ever had. Which is due to, just being smart and not posting it until about an hour before the show starts.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't even remember what we have. What do we have here, Lemur? Lemur, maybe you could take us through all of the Q&A.
Timothy Sear asks, how does Lemur feel about getting his first win of the season? I feel phenomenal. I would not have liked that win to be taken any other way than a DQ victory over Angelo. That's just my dream win. Was this a momentum change Avatar needed? No. You guys made the momentum change on Avatar, not me. I could have lost my series and been fine. Could he delve a little bit into his preparation and what he thinks the key for success is? And I know where he's going with this question. And I'm going to tell you right now. So I lost every single match this season, right? So far, up to this point. And I consider getting a DQ victory still a loss because I would have lost if he would have played me. So how I am approaching it going into the rest of this season, as I approached it last season. Last season, I took a month off of Hearthstone, right? In the middle of the season. And I didn't lose a match. So, I am going to not practice purposely so that I can win my Hearthstone matches. That's how I'm going to approach it for the rest of the season. We're going to see how it goes, at least next week. And then he wants to hear Salt's opinion on the last part of that question.
I'm not sure I even understand how I would have an opinion about your preparation and what the key to your success is.
What's success? Don't say success. I have none of that. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand this question. Is he in chat? Can he
Maybe he's asking as though you are the subject and your success and your preparation.
My preparation? Ban shaman and prepare to beat warrior and druid. I mean, I don't. Yeah.
You'd say those are the most targetable classes when building a lineup.
I mean, nothing's targetable anymore, right?
Yeah.
Unless your opponent brings priest or paladin, you know.
I don't know. When I saw Houdini's classes, I saw he was bringing hunter, rogue, and paladin. And when I thought of the matchups, I just built a taunt warrior deck and queued it first, knowing that I would secure a win. Because I practiced like 40 games with it, and after refining it and then practicing even more, Secret Hunter and Miracle Rogue could not beat it.
Yes. And so, see, even chat, you know, Aridin makes a good point. Frozen in America's Last Call probably had the most targeted lineup I have ever seen against Control Warrior, and he still couldn't win.
Yep, he still lost.
I mean, he had the greediest Cthulhu Warrior list I've ever seen. Double Doom Collar. You know, he had the priest deck with, what was it? Double death, double entomb, double mind control, and sideshow spell eater, and he still couldn't win.
He couldn't do it.
So spell eater.
So I mean, you know, even going full retard, he couldn't make it happen. You know, I had high hopes for the man, but you know, feels priest, man. So,
yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's really hard to totally target. But I mean, if you can just bring classes that are good enough, you know, you're probably doing all right.
Yep.
Man, that's really all you can say right now. The meta's kind of crazy, so.
All right, let's go on to the next question. We got Trevor Berenbum, also known as Aradan. This question is for Lemur. You beat me in a Strivewire tournament and told me about THL after the match. Do you reminisce about the days when you were good enough at Hearthstone to beat me? To this question, I say no. I'm not going to look at the past. I'm just going to look at the future and see how I can improve. Also, I beat you on sheer RNG. I've never been a better player than you. So, going from like that thought process, I'm just going to say that you should have beaten me in that tournament. And I do not reminisce about it because you should have beaten me in that tournament. And I don't want to think about you beating me ever in like any game at all. But I do enjoy that I told you about THL because you've become a big part of it. And it's wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, he's been awesome. And we're obviously not talking about the finals of that tournament, are we?
No, God, no. Oh, no. You think I'd ever be in the finals of a tournament for Hearthstone? Ever?
Absolutely not.
Oh, exactly. That's the point.
Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you both for these fantastic questions.
The meatiest questions.
The meatiest of all the meats.
Where's Slimsh with our quality meta question this week?
You know, we didn't give him the time to prepare. You know, he likes his prep. You know, he got his spreadsheet from Mange of, you know, last week's Q&A questions and what the meta was, and he just didn't have the time to put together his approach. But maybe next week.
That's too bad.
That's a shame. So, well, it's been fun. It's great to have you back, Lemur.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy it a lot.
I know Salt said G-Nets was great, but that's just one man's opinion. So I'm happy to.
Shots.
I loved having him on, man. He was freaking hilarious.
I fucking love G-Nets. He cracks me up.
G-Nets, I'm better than you.
I didn't say that, but I did rag on
Uh-huh.
it. But it's all in good fun. G-Nets, you're the man. Lemur, you're the man. What would you like to tell the 2 people that are watching this show before you leave?
Yep.
He'd like to tell them, yep. Okay. Yep.
I actually did that. I did that on purpose because Jack Sox earlier in the stream was like, "Oh, Lieber's input. He just says yup to everything." Hey, screw you, Jack Sox. I'm gonna tell everyone watching right now that I hope that they had a fantastic time watching After the Salt Settles with the greatest technical producer of all time, Nate, the greatest condiment to put on anything, Knackle, and of course, myself, TH Lemur. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts and from the bottom of his salt shaker for being here with us.
There you go.
That just went from here to here. That was amazing. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Spackle?
I remember when Jack Sox was a nice guy.
Yeah, those were the times, right?
Oh, he's so jaded now.
He's
I
not
did
nice
teach
people.
I did teach him how to be a man and how to grow hair in his
boy.
beard and his chest.
I'm glad you said that, because if you didn't say that, I would have no idea that's ever happened.
He has come a long way.
Love you, Jack Sox.
Love you, Jack
of course,
Sox.
yeah.
All
He's
right.
the man.
All right, boys and girls. Thanks for hanging with us. I hope you had a good time. We'll see you next week.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.